Hello everyone to the first battle report of a full tape game that I'm trying out. It was at Into the Under-Ekeren, and as you can see here, we rolled off for the first turn between my Dread Pageant and Lady Harrow's Mournflight of Peter. And well, he got the first turn because he was finished first with deployment. Now I know this is gonna be a bit difficult, but I start out with Slake Slash charging. So, trying to score an easy, quick damage on the spooky girls for my inspiration. And I roll my attack. There I go, one sword. And that's it. And he didn't defend. So, 2 wounds on the flying tablecloth. And first blood to Slaanesh. I also opted to wound Slake Slash. So that were more wounds on the table. And the more wounds on there, the faster I inspire after all, which is like the inspire condition of the Dread Pageant. You need to have 6 wounds on the table. At times that makes it a bit difficult, especially against smaller warbands with lots of little minions, because you don't want to kill outright, but you don't want to get swamped. So that's a bit of a balance that you have to look for. So as we move to the power step, it's also the first time I'm trying this voiceover thing, so bear with me. A shared anguish, and there goes 1 wound already. Back off the spooky guys, and onto Slake Slash. No, I didn't wound myself. I got it from Nada, so just to make sure. Now that might have saved me because he has this 3 damage ghost as well. Lady Kaita here goes for the inspiration by flying over him. And back to the objective. That means that the ghosts inspire, and she is going for the attack. There we go. Yeah, well, she has a double crit. No, she she didn't have any damage, but she wounded Slake Slash for a further 2, so it was now 4 wounds. 1 from the shared anguish, 1 from himself, and 2 from the ghostly attack. So down on 1 wound now. That was a bit close. I was pretty sure I was going to lose my cow, but if I can do 1 more wound, I would inspire. So we're moving on to the power step next. There I go. Cruel Pangs, 1 wound on the Lady Kaita, 6 wounds on the table, and we inspire. Yeehaw! I also scored excess of carnality, by the way, a bit later, because after now of course here I help him, it's part good, but yeah, Glissette is now going to do a little charge after the power phase. So go checking the cards, checking the cards, checking the cards. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you have a bit of these lulls because, as I said, it's the first time I'm going to try and do a full voiceover battle reports instead of my usual slideshows. And yeah, well, I still have to find a way to get the dead moments when we're cycling through cards all done. And maybe I should write a script for the next clips so that I know what happens when, because we got also a bit of discussion of the problems with the upcoming pre-releases. So as it took place the 23rd, a lot of the cards were already sold out, the card pack. But here we go. Glissette charges, attacks the 3 damage ghosts that he has, because that's a real threat to my warband. Double crit attack and 1 miss, so there he goes for the defense. And no, he can't save the spook. Oh, and that's 2 wounds, taking the ghost out of the game and scoring excess of carnality for myself. Oh, that's always nice if your cards can do the objective. Damaging. I have 2 models adjacent to 1 enemy. So the turn goes back to Lady Harrow's Mournflight as we go through the power phase. yeah, you're gonna have a bit of those silences in there. The problem is a bit with the audio itself on the tape. You have all the chitter chatter from around, and there's also the problem of Antwerp dialect. But Lady Harrow's band just moves onto an objective, and that way they can score 1 will because they now hold an even and an uneven valued objective. So that was a quick score. They have a lot of passive glory and they're coupled with malevolent masks, so that's even more of those passive stand-on objective glories in that warband. So it's a very difficult warband to play against. I played him several times. I don't think I won 50% of my games against him. Here I'm just checking what the Lady Kaita does when she gets inspired, which is basically that she gets an extra wound and she has an action then that she can move to whatever empty hex she likes. So the fact that she's now on 3 wounds, of course, that's a bit of an issue. Otherwise I could have gone with a Hatsu for the sniping shot. But yeah. Peter is then going to play the Shroud, giving Lady Harrow 1 wound extra. No, sorry, the Silent Maiden 1 wound extra, so I played Vasilak, giving him a Strength of Pain, which means that when he is wounded, he does 1 more damage with his range 1 or range 2 attacks, so his spear is range 2. It's basically a card that you can play on everyone in the Dread Pageant warband, because except for Hatsu, who has a range 3 or 4 when inspired, but he tends to die anyway pretty swiftly, so not too much of a jiffy on that bloke after all. Activation 3, I am going to charge with Vasilak and attack the Lady Kaita, getting her out of the way. And my 2 hammers yields 1 success, which is critically defended, so I can't even push him. That means, for me, nothing, unfortunately. But that the Lady Harrow scores, as I said, a lot of passive glory from his search afterwards. He pulled this one. He holds another objective card with an even value and a mask upgrade. So, yep, that's another glory for the ladies. We're going to the 3rd activation then after the power step. I also found that I'm like a very fast player compared to my opponents. Now Peter, okay, but maybe it's something I should do in the future. Learn to read my cards and think a bit in front instead of my Ooga Booga aggro style of play. But gonna go. Of course, we can't have a match without some coffee. Always need coffee, especially at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, it was not 8 o'clock, it was at 10:30, but it felt like 8 o'clock because it was cold outside and it was raining. I don't know whether to play a tournament. So for his 3rd activation, Peter just draws a fresh power card, while I play the Vicious Barbs. And I uninspire the Lady Kaita until the end of the round. Afterwards she automatically inspires again, but during this round, well, the 1 activation left, she can't re-inspire, and there we go. With the archer, trying to shoot her down. He charges, he hits with 3, thanks to the supports, but of course, there is the critical defense. And there goes Vasilak. But there's a critical defense, and that's a, well, bit of misery. I score for having all my warband having charge tokens. Oh, that was a nice search. While the Lady Harrow gets +1 dice on attack rolls if she has a charge token herself. Which makes it a pretty ugly, monstrous little lady. She then duly charges and attacks with or lots of dice onto my little poor Slake Slash. So that's 4 dice for the Lady Harrow against my 1 defense die. Yeah, it's not much I'm gonna be able to do with that. Unless he doesn't roll any crits and I roll a critical success, but there comes the roll. No crits from inside, just 3 successes. And my roll, of course, dun dun dun, nothing. A plain defense. So there goes the cow, yielding 2 glory towards my opponent. And then we are going to move to the final power step of the turn and to the end phase of the turn. And to be honest, I had a pretty good end phase. I had some nice cards in my hand. And the first one that I'm going to score after, let's build up the tension a bit. Yeah, I really need to find something to put this all more together. But I scored Curled Like Sheep because all the opponent's models were in the same half of the board or the same territory. And to add to that, I also scored my Godseekers because all my figures were also in one territory, being the enemy territory, which is a requirement. So that was a 4 glory score. While Harrow scored the Creeping Dread and the Nexus of Terror. So, yeah, not too much of a win with my 4 scored glory. And I was still in the rat race against his passive scoring. We also had at that moment a bit more of discussion of the levels and the use of the card pack, which is pretty expensive. For the Emberguard version 2, the box with the it's already sold out, by the way, with the 16 warbands in there that are also in the boxes. So if you now want the cards, you have to buy the €80 boxes, and you'll end up with duplicate models for warbands. So that's not yeah, the greatest of things. Lady Kaita inspires again because it's the next round. So whoops, that didn't work out as well as planned. So I had hoped to shoot her down with Hadzu, but yeah, as you could see, critical defense, he failed, so damn. That one time that Hadzu could do something useful, he fails to do so. Nothing to do about that. So we are going to move on to the second turn. I basically hoped that I would get the first one and then either attack Kaita with Glizit directly or try the risk of her less accurate and only 1 damage attack of sighting and wound them all. But as I actually needed to take the ghost out, I guess I'm going to just straight attack the now inspired Lady Kaita. So let's see how it goes. Here's my roll for who has the first turn, and of course 2 criticals and 2 supports. I should have had that in my attack rolls. And Peter, he rolls less, so nevertheless I grab the first turn. And that means that, well, hopefully we can take out some more of the ghosts. The problem a bit is with the Dread Pageant, you have rather a lot of attack dice, but they're all on swords. I have many games that Slake Slash didn't need anything, only hammers for Vasilak. But Glizet, she rolls 3 dice when inspired for a 2 damage attack, and here she scores a single hit, which is defended on a dodge. So that means that the Lady Kaita stays around just some more. Time to play some upgrades and power cards then, and I decided to give Boots of Warding to Vasilak. That would mean that he was immune to damage from lethal hexes, but also from power cards, and with my chain pings somewhere hidden in there, like the Right Bait or Engulfing Swallow. That also basically means that I became immune for my own ping damage. And as I was inspired, I didn't need wounds on my characters anymore. So that looked pretty good. It's also a bit of a shame for Emberguard that they lost their heal and wound themselves ability, so you'll just will be able to hit to do damage. The Lady Kaita gets the Echo Mask, the one that allows to switch features, but it also means that every ghost now has a mask on, and every ghost can now score all the passive glory objectives that don't require attacks with the Malevolent Mask combination. So yeah, not that fun. That's why I was trying to get ghosts down as much as possible, but unfortunately that didn't work out. I have also given Vasilak now the Thunder Stomp upgrade. It's the one that you make a 4-chain scatter reaction, and everything that's hit by it gets 1 damage. So it's just to hope that it might be an more or less accurate last ping damage finisher should I get one of the spookies to a single wound and vulnerable status. So it's a bit of a backup weapon, and I have to just well, it costs an action, so you're not just using it that fast. The Harrows themselves, they play a double move but can't charge ploy, the meaning that the next activation that they do a normal move, they can count it for double, and that's immediately what Peter is doing for his first activation. The Lady Kaita, she flies all the way to the other side of the board, and then of course due to that she is going to score the mask card for holding an odd objective while equipped with a mask, and that's why he gave her the Echo's mask a bit earlier on. Not the handiest of masks, but it is a mask and it allows the scoring. So that was a bit another bummer. Shouldn't be able, should have killed her, but yeah. It is what it is, and now I'm stuck there with his 2 combat ghosts, while the weakened one, that's gone. So it is time for, well, try to beat the crap out of the flying table linen. I opt to attack with Vasilak, and his 2 hammers attack on the Lady Harrow herself, causing a critical hit. And well, he fails to defend, so I am actually managing a 3 wounds on the lady herself, and that's what I say, she now becomes into the range of, well, I might take her out if I do something. Peter will then go through his cards, and he is thinking of some more dastardly plans on how to put the hurt on the Pageant, and how to score without actually having to kill something. So, after a long time contemplating, he finally made up his mind on what his next action would be, and that is, dun dun, he is going to make a charge, and he's charging poor little Glizet, but going through 2 feature tokens on the way. With her 4 dice, yeah, she's just immense beast, the Lady Harrow. Here comes her attack roll, and she scores a great 3 hits. So unless I roll a crit in my double roll, which I do, Glizet stays in the game, but the Lady Harrow, due to a card, gets to attack again. Grabbles. And this time the roll with a crit and a success. It was too much for Glizet to overcome, and she goes down. Still, she, well, held it on bravely for 1 turn. And I played a Deadly Embrace, trying to have her jump up again. If she could just attack, she might take the lady out, but swirly. And, well, no epic last moment attacks from Glizet. So Harrow now scores the Unescapable Hunger, because she moved over 2 feature tokens. And, yeah. As I said, a lot of passive glory in that deck, and he's almost through his whole objective deck and we're halfway turn 2, so that doesn't look too well for the Dread Pageant. I then decided to go for my Thunder Stomp attack, because, well, the Lady Harrow, she was close by, she was on only 1 wound, so if I put the hammer in the right direction, I had a pretty good chance of being able to scatter the damage towards her. I opted for the hammer and the sword chain. So hammer and sword in the 4 dice roll would be enough, and there I got 2 hammers, 2 swords. So yeah, I couldn't of course not reach anything else, and it wouldn't go towards my own archer, so I didn't take Hatsu out by accident as well, so that's pretty great. This allowed me also to score Gun Without a Trace if I take something out with a ploy card. Had it been a domain, my Puncturing Ice Shards that's somewhere in the deck, I would have even scored 2 glory, but that was not to be. So we go on to the 3rd turn then for the Lady Harrow, who, oh look, didn't score anything, and he just going to draw a power card for his 3rd activation. We're moving back over to my side then. And I am going to charge with Vasilak onto the Maiden. Attack with 2 hammers, 2 range, 2 hammers. I got Cleave, so here we go. And I score 1 success. And luckily, the ghost fails to defend. So she takes 3 wounds, but she has that upgrade that, well, she has an extra wound now, and she remains in play. So, Hatsu, boy, we're going to count on you. So it's up to Peter. And there he goes for his final activation, charging Vasilak, moving over him and back, so he inspires afterwards with the maiden. And there goes his attack roll. At least this one is not 4 dice. And he misses completely. But yet, he's inspired now at least, so the ghost just got a bit better. They should have all been dead already by now. And he is playing a ploy card. That is forcing Vasilak to be pushed away. Card says that he has to move 2 hexes towards a friendly fighter, so he moves them towards Lady Kaita on the other side of the board. So I score Scintillating Sadism, while the Lady Harrow scores the Tides of Malice. They had 1 to hold objectives with a mask on. So, and then we are going to draw fresh cards, cycle and everything, and we are going for an 11-13 lead for the Lady Harrow into the final round. So here we got the roll off, and I really wanted priority, but I only rolled a double, while my opponent got 2 singles. So the priority goes to Peter, and he's deciding whether to activate first or second, and I hope he lets me go first, but I fear a bit for that. It's a bit too close. Should have been able to take the first, I would have now taken out, in all probability, the ghost with Hadzu, the maiden who had 3 wounds. So as she was only on 1 wound left, that was my plan. Shoot first with the archer, and then I could use Vasilak to go hunt the other ghost, because I wouldn't want to waste my charge with Vasilak on the other one, even though he has a bit more success of hitting. But the 3 dice of Hadzu, I would have gone for that option. But sadly it was not to be, because after a lot of contemplating, Peter is going to decide to go first. and he charges the maiden onto Hadzu. Poor Hadzu. Well, he lost it until the third round. That's a bit of a record for himself, I guess. So, sorry. Rolling an even 4 attack dice against the poor Blizzbarb archer. His roll came up with, well, he has Grievous as well, so there are no crits. But 2 criticals and a success. There was no way my archer could defend against that, even with his 2 dice. And down went Hadzu. So, yeah. I decided to play then in the power phase. Well, a bit of a gamble. The Engulfing Swallow. So it's a 2 dice chain, and then at the end you pick a square, and then from then whatever it hits around them on a lightning. But yeah, it didn't even go anywhere near Ghostly Lady, so Vasilak didn't have to roll because I was immune to damage from my from ploy cards and everything. So that's good, because otherwise I could have just taken her out that way and saving up an activation. I also played a Sword Shatter on Vasilak as a... well, I could then just destroy an item, while the Lady Harrow's band scores for a Mask Fighter taking 1 out of action. So with Hadzu taking down. See, he keeps raking up that glory. It's crazy. The warband is crazy. And then I'm just going to attack with Vasilak instead. Going 2 dice on hammers. And I miss. Had Hadzu just been there still, he would have gotten the ghost, but yeah. The archer chose the better valor. And basically this was my death to score a victory. I gave a sadistic go to Vasilak just well, because I got all the glory anyway, and just played a card because I had cards enough. Not much special. I wasn't planning on using it anyway. Could the thing with the sadistic goat is you can do a heap of damage on. It's great against good guys. Like you give Moloch 3 damage, and then if you can hit with the goat, it does a further 4 damage. But against all vulnerables and stuff, yeah. My spear is just as well. If I do hit anything with my 3 damage, I win. Kill it. So the Lady Kaita charges in. Vasilak, who is still bravely defending the center. And there comes the roll, and she scores a success. And my defense roll a critical defense. So yeah, we remain there. I know the new edition, all those defenses, they would just give me wounds. And I don't know if I like that as much in a third round. In the first round, okay, because then my Pageant will inspire. In the third round, less. I'm deciding to attack the one with the wound upgrade in the hope of, well, either killing it outright or throwing the dice for the upgrade, which would mean if I shatter the upgrade, she loses the extra wound, and she would just, well, vanish. So first we got the attack itself. A critical hit, and that's it. And the defense roll for the maiden also contains a critical, so she remains upright, but I shatter her upgrade, and she just, well, poofs away. So, okay, that was pretty great. But the Maskborn card is played. This is that terrible thing where something with a mask comes back to bite you. And there comes the ghost again, and she can make one attack on me, and then she will go away. 4 dice, so there are gonna be crits in there with the Grievous, and 1 crit, and I critically defend, so it doesn't do anything. A lot of crits have been rolled now in the attack sequence, but in the end the only result was that the maiden remained dead because her upgrade was shattered by my sword shatter upgrade. So that was pretty fun, but yeah, for the same amount she would have severely wounded Vasilak and I would have been in trouble. For the third activation, the ghosts move away, taking along 2 feature tokens. So that allows the Lady Kaita, so it's a reactivation as she was charged out, to score fleeting memories. Because, well, she moved over 2 objective tokens. I decided with Vasilak to going to give chase, of course. Because, yeah, why not? 2 range attack for the charge. And my noble leader scores a critical. And the Lady Kaita, all or nothing, fails to defend. 3 damage on the last piece of table linen. And we tabled the Lady Harrows. So, at this moment, I was gaining up on him, but still not enough. But I had 5 in hand to score. So that would lift me up had I had priority. Unfortunately, I didn't have this roll this turn, and this allowed Peter to play Domain of Death, meaning that because he scored first, we count scored objectives. He had 10, and I only scored 8 by then. So nothing to do about it. He scores first in the end phase, so 3 extra glory for him that way. I had moved Vasilak, by the way, my last activation, onto an objective token, just in case, should I get a tie, that I would win. Well, I would win anyway because I have more figures left, but then also to be on an objective token. Didn't have any use. But yeah, because I only scored 8 objectives during the game, he scored the 3 points, and that was enough. Because I only managed to score 5 myself in the end phase, and the result of the game turned out to be a 19-18 victory for the tabled Lady Harrows. So that was close, a bit too close for comfort, a bit sour as well. But yeah, what could have gone different had I taken out the Lady Kaita in the first turn? The whole game would have been different, or if I had priority in the last turn, but that's all ifs and whats. So yeah, not much to do about it. That's how it ends, and a well-earned victory for Peter. So I'm sorry about the small musical intermezzos. There were some lulls in the game. Of 2-3 minutes when it took a while for the cards to be played, but yeah, over time we're going to look for another way to do this editing, but not for immediately. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.